My name's Michael Weir. I spoke a little bit at the Amador meeting as well. Just a couple points I wanted to touch on, one that didn't get covered, one that got talked about a little bit, but I think it's important to reiterate that stretch, the middle bar stretch, is very critical habitat to some of our more iconic species of wildlife that live here in the foothills. And the Mokelumne River, backing up a little bit, I grew up here in Amador County, and to me that was one of my family's been here 30 years. I've been here 30 years, and that was one of the best parts about growing up here, was waking up to the birds singing in the yard and being able to catch frogs and lizards and snakes and salamanders and newts and turtles, and having all those experiences outdoors, and being able to see a fox run across the driveway at night, and experiences that you guys can't have down in the bay because now everything's built up and there's no places for those animals to live. And being a wildlife enthusiast, I've monitored the wildlife here over 30 years, and I've definitely seen a decline. And I can tell you that that is a bit of a refuge down there. There's a lot of species that rely on that riparian habitat along the middle bar stretch. And a lot of those species can't tolerate the presence of people. They just don't interact well when people and animals get together here. A lot of times it ends badly, and so that's a little place where they can have a little bit of a refuge. And if that's lost, it's part of the migration corridor for the big cats, for the deer that head up the country. You walk around Amador County now, you're going to run into a fence just about everywhere but the river canyon. It's one of the last places where someone can, and including animals, can just walk for miles all the way from the Rima Sierras down here, and it's important. We've already lost, due to direct actions of East Bay mud, we've lost part of our heritage. I'm a fisherman. I feel that it should be my heritage as a Californian to be able to fish for native salmonids. We've lost coho salmon, Chinook salmon, steelhead trout, but there are remnants of the population of native rainbows that live down there. And the habitat there at Middle Bar is the best spawning habitat in the lower Mokelumne. It was historically the best spawning habitat for salmon and steelhead. That has been erased, and so to preserve that for the trout would be nice. Something left for them. But one thing that I really want to point out that none of you guys haven't talked about yet is you guys have all these systems in place, and instead of creating more storage, maybe you could think about managing your units a little better. I was kind of thinking that if you dredge some of the silt out of your reservoirs, one, it would cut down on production of methane gas from the reservoirs, which is a big problem. All the organic matter from the watershed gets flooded in there, gets buried in that mud. When you're back there fishing, you see those bubbles coming up. That's all methane, which contributes to global warming. So if you cleared out some of that silt, you could increase the storage capacity. You could probably increase Tiger Creek by double. If you worked on Comanche, you could probably get another 10–20% out of Comanche. If you took the silt out of the bottom of your impoundments, ran it through a sluice box, dredged the gold out of it, you could probably pay for the entire project. You would create local jobs. All you would need is a barge dredge and a couple dump trucks. You could use it to create backfill for some of the other construction projects going on. So nobody's talked about that, but for years I've thought that seemed like a viable business opportunity for a local, and would help you guys as well. So think about the wildlife when you're playing God. Every animal has a soul and a spirit and a right to live, and so think about better solutions. So thank you.